When dealing with data, you have to ask the question of where does it come from and why. And I like using this four-step process. Identify what your component is as step one. Model the physical representation of it. You'll receive data indigenous to the software, and then you can add some more. It's that process that continues over and over again, and BIM seems daunting when you have to ask that question every single time. But once you do it a couple times, you get an understanding. Depending on what the output for your BIM is, you get an understanding of how much information you need and why, and an understanding of where the information comes from. Using doors as an example, once you identify the component, the requirement, which is a door, understand what data you need. You then go to your tool, place the door, and you're faced with the question of what information comes in directly versus what information needs to be added. We've got data that's indigenous to the modeling software itself, and other information that needs to be manually inputted. Regardless of what your BIM authoring software is, you will get some fundamental information just by the nature of placing the door in the model. Another example is ducting. Similar concept. Understand what you need to model, understand the properties that you need to understand when modeling a duct, and then select your tool, place your duct. When you place the duct, various sets of information will be filled out automatically. In this example, by nature of pressing the duct, the BIM tool itself actually fills out all this information on your behalf, or it won't let you model it unless you make a selection. This is called fundamental data. This is going to come from the BIM tool regardless of whether you're, quote, doing a big BIM project or not. So once the ducting is placed, you're able to query and identify the ducts against other components based on the information that's fundamentally placed. Here's a live example with electrical. If you select the Place Electrical Fitting tool, this is in one of the authoring apps, you see automatically there's information filled out. Now, depending on how you're authoring your BIM model, this will look a little different for you, but the critical point is exactly this. When I place the electrical component, it will come complete with all this information filled out for me to use in subsequent downstream uses.